Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for coming back for another video. Um, as promised in some of my previous videos and out on social media, wanted to share with you guys what I have in store for this year out in the lawn on how I plan to fertilize and treat for uh, preventive strikes, I guess you could say, for bugs and for fungus and those sorts of things. Um, I like to keep everything on a spreadsheet. Just kind of helps to keep everything clear in my mind and on how much putting things down, what rates, frequencies, and all that type of thing. So what we'll do is in this video we'll dive in and I'll explain to you what I'm doing. It's really kind of a conglomeration of what some other folks out on social media and YouTube are doing with their lawns. And kind of what I have found over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years that works best for me in my area, in my lawn. So what I'm going to share with you is good for me. It may not be good for you, but I hope you guys get something out of it, and we'll allow for questions and whatnot down in the comments. So with that, let's dive into this.
All right, everybody. I wanted to take you in and show you the spreadsheet that I use to manage my plan. So as I said, most of this is all based off of just my experiences and my lawn, where I am in the country. I'm in the transition zone, zone 6B, and then just a conglomeration of lots of things that I've kind of gathered up from different YouTubers out there that that love their lawn too. So, of course, last fall I did a soil sample with Soil Savvy and got some results back. Some of this is based off of my findings there too, and of course we'll be doing a couple of more samples this year just to make sure that we're on track. But wanted to kind of go through this spreadsheet that I have that really walks me personally through what I need to do when, and I'll kind of explain the reason of why I have it set up the way that I do and that type of stuff. So just kind of give you a lay of the land. I have the season split up into 7 segments, and these are 7 5-week segments, and the gray days here are weekdays, white ones like these here, Saturday, Sunday, those are weekends. So you notice I have a lot of my, or basically all of my work scheduled to happen on the weekends, because that's of course when I have the most time to do it. And all of these dates aren't hard and fast, they're just kind of relative reminders that I need to be doing this around this period. So in the first segment, well, let me step back and kind of explain my color coding. Green boxes is fertilizer treatments. Pink is when I'm doing my pre-emergent. Blue is when I'm doing my antifungal. Purple is seeding. Yellow, insect control. The light blue is when I put down some grub control, and then the orange is summer care, and I'll get into exactly what that means when we get to that particular segment. But in the first segment, the first treatment that I put down is I'm going to put down some green punch from the next fertilizer collection. I will link how to get that product down below, but I'm going to be putting that down at 16 ounces per 1,000 square foot. You'll notice that I tend to kind of spoon feed my lawn. It's nitrogen, so I have lots of increments of putting that out throughout the year rather than giving it big doses. And this year I'm going to try to, from a fertilizer and supplement perspective, keep it all to sprayer rather than getting the lawn spreader out and having to mess with that. So just trying to think of ways, in the limited time that we all have, how to make things a little bit easier. So if you have equipment out, just use that equipment for all of it. By no means does that mean that I'm hating on synthetic fertilizers that are granular or Milorganite or anything like that. In fact, throughout here I may push some Milorganite out in the lawn just as a little extra oomph in some cases. So, but I think that this here, based off of how I've run some numbers and everything, this would give me the right amount of nitrogen in the lawn over the course of the season. So green punch, 16 ounces. I'm going to follow that up with my first pre-emergent treatment. It's got a note here that it's going to be prodiamine that I'm going to be trying to put down for that. And we'll get into our second app of pre-emergent down here, and I'll kind of tell you the science behind that. But then I'm going to follow up with some more green punch, 16 ounces per 1,000 square foot later on in that segment, basically about a month later. So here's that second pre-emergent that I'm putting down, and this time you'll see it's dimension. So got dimension coming down here. Over here I'm going to be putting down prodiamine. The reason why that is that's going to give me a good cross-section of being able to hit all those broadleaf weeds that may crop up. So if you don't get them with one, you'll get them with the other, and hopefully you get them all from a pre-emergent perspective. So yellow box here, insect control. We have a problem in our area of like little aphids that like to dance around in the lawn, and when you're mowing, they get all crazy and climb on your legs and just drive you nuts. So what I do is every other segment I just put a dose of insect killer, Bayer Advance, pretty common stuff. Works great in our cases. So I put that down as you see, every other segment. Here we've got another treatment of fertilizer. This time I'm going to put down Green Effect by Next, Green County fertilizer at 8 ounces per 1,000. All of these of course ounces are used with the sprayer. I have a battery pack sprayer that I put it down with. It seems to work real well. So the blue box, this is going to be our antifungal. So I've got this positioned at the beginning of June. Depending on how much rain we get in the season, I may push this up a little bit just earlier in the season, because I want this to be a preventative treatment, not a reaction to finding fungus. And what I would do is I'll put down two different types here. One is a granular heritage, and the other is a liquid eagle. And it's going to allow me to again, kind of like what I do with my pre-emergent, it's going to allow me to kind of get the best of both worlds and get a double punch on making sure that I get all of the different types of funguses, brown patch, dollar spot, all of that stuff. Maybe a little overkill, but it gives me the peace of mind. But like I said, these are all relative dates. I might push this up based off of the conditions that we see in the weather. So moving into the third segment, here's some Graubecs that I'm going to be putting down just to control those little guys. Don't usually have a problem with those, but every once in a while we'll see them. But I put it down regardless, just because I don't want to have the problem. And then we've got another fertilizer app. This is going to be Green Effect at 8 ounces, and then Microgreen at 9 ounces. Again, these are Green County products. We have a link in the bottom. Then we're going to move into what we're calling the summer care. So by this time, it's July, and I really don't want to be pushing a bunch of growth and fertilizer down. So I'm going to use the kind of the biostimulant pack from Green County, and use this time to kind of feed the soil, make everything nice and neat during summertime, so that once we get out of summer and get back into fall, the lawn's in a good shape where it's going to really perform. So in that, we're putting down Aerate, RGS, Humic 12, and Dethatch, all from Green County. And then again, we'll do it here at the beginning of August. Working backwards a little bit, here's another bug treatment, same stuff, bare advanced again. And seems like, you know, this product works really, really well for our, like I said, have basically it's aphids that we have, and it you know, zaps them. This box here, I think I have that in error just in my planning, so disregard this one here. And you know, that's not needed. So we talked about Bare Advance. We talked about our summer treatment here, where we're going to give the soil the care and feeding it needs. So this one here is where I'm going to be doing my seeding. I have it at the end of August. I may do it a little bit later, a little bit earlier. Most likely it might be a little bit later than this. But essentially I'm going to overseed, and then along with that, I'm going to use Aerate, RGS, Humic 12, and Green Start by Green County. Aerate, RGS, Humic is going to really work in that dirt, make things nice, loosen it up, feed it. Then the Green Start is going to be a good, along with the RGS, is going to be a good push for the overseeding. So then we move down into segment 6. You know, we're going to have some more Green Punch at 60 ounces. Green Punch is going to be going down rather than a sprayer. It's going to go on a hose end sprayer because it needs water to really dilute that and water it into your lawn. So basically you're going to be putting it down and watering it at the same time. So it's a good mix. I might do a video about that specifically. Got another insect killer treatment. We've got another treatment of fertilizer, Green Effect Microgain, going down here in the middle of October. And then this one here is, some people may think it's pretty late, but it's right at the beginning of November, where I'm going to be putting down another dose of Green Punch. And kind of the idea behind that is we know that the temperatures are going to be lower, so we're not going to really get a lot of growth, which we don't want to get a lot of growth out of it at that time with the nitrogen that we're putting down. But really it's kind of putting that lawn to bed and you know, really setting it up where it will work well when everything wakes up in the spring, and it'll just, you know, take off and we'll be ready to go. Did want to make a couple notes here. I just kind of little reminders. I put no weed control here, just because this is the heat of the summer time period. So, you know, it keeps me, I don't want to do that, stress out the lawn and that type of stuff. But, you know, other times of the year, do just your regular care of your lawn. Of course, mowing, watering, and just spot spraying for weeds where they may come up. So I think that's really it. Again, all of these aren't hard and fast. You know, they'll kind of move around. It's a plan. Who knows, I might forget something or have something come up that I can't do some of these. But what I'll do is I'll leave a link below to where I get some of my products, whether it be the next products or say our pre-emergent or antifungal or any of that type of stuff. I'll leave links to that all below, but I'll also leave a link to the calendar itself below where you guys can download it off of Google Docs. You know, use it at your will. Works for me. Change things around, but at least to kind of give you a format to kind of, you know, start with.
So guys, I hope that helps. It didn't maybe confuse you more or anything like that on what you're going to be doing. You know, if you have any questions or anything like that, you know, just be sure to leave some comments and we can have a discussion about it. You other folks that watch the video can throw their input into the ring. But like I said, I just hope it really helped you guys out. I'm going to put a link down in the description where you guys can download the template or my plan that you can use, you know, to update your plan. You know, at least it gives you kind of a start if you're kind of a visual and a little bit more organized person in this regard. So we'll put a link down in the description where you guys can download that. I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like, leave some comments on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, or if you're watching this on Facebook, be sure to like our page. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot, guys.